Let's take you back to last year when Scott Boras had a bunch of clients, of which Blake Snell was one of them, one of the big four, like the big four game animals on safari that you may see. No deals to be found long term, so we went short term with opt outs. Blake Snell signs into spring training, has a very tough start to the season in San Francisco. The Giants were the team that swooped in and signed two of the guys, Chapman and Snell. The Giants tried to improve last year and had a miserable season, missing the playoffs, forcing a change in front office. Hello, Buster Posey. And now Blake Snell has left the Giants for his third National League West team in 3 years. When you opt out, that means he collected $32 million last year. He turned down the second year that would have been $30 million of a 2-year, $62 million deal. He goes back to market. He tells his agent, Scott Boras, do me a favor, find me a deal before Thanksgiving. Scott Boras gives the book to the Los Angeles Dodgers and says, look at yourselves. Look at how lucky you got to win the World Series. Yes, they are the defending, reigning World Series champions, lest you forget that a month ago, probably yesterday, Freddie Freeman with that unbelievable walk-off. But in any case, you tell the Dodgers, don't you want to be a dynasty? Don't you want to win back-to-back, becoming the first team since the Yankees, 1998 to 2000? Did you see all the pitching problems you had? My guy is never hurt. Well, that's not exactly true. He had 20 starts last year. He only pitched 104 innings, but really, he's not going to be hurt because he's going to get a full spring training. That's why he wants to sign right now. And he's willing to sign for a discount. All you have to do is give him 5 years, $182 million, and he will be yours. And the Dodgers said, well, wait a minute. That seems a little heavy. No one else in the market really has him going out 5 years. He's going to play at 32 years old next year. I'm really way more comfortable with a 4-year deal or a 3-year deal. Well, I've been in this position before. And when you're asked by the agent, thank you, Jeff Berry, for 1 more year, just 1 more, and he's yours. You talk to your owner, you look at your payroll, and you say to yourself, 1 more year, it's 5 years from now. So many things will have happened. If we can win another Cup of World Series, it won't even matter if he's ineffective. We can either Corbin him. That's my new expression for when you let a guy continue to pitch on a bad contract and he'll have a 1 good start once in a while with Corbin and the Nationals. Or you can just release him, which is to Baumgartner him, which is what the Diamondbacks did with Madison Bumgarner, who incidentally may be reuniting with Buster Posey in San Francisco. Or you can say there's a chance he'll be effective and impactful through his age 36 year. And then Boras says, but I need 1 more little thing. And I know you've got this. And this is what really got my chaps last night at about 23:36. When it turns out that he's getting a $52 million signing bonus. That's the difference between the Dodgers and an overwhelming majority of the teams. When a player wants that much money up front, there is very little that we can do to compete with that. Very few owners have available cash flow of $52 million. Very few owners have the ability to borrow an extra $52 just for the purpose of a salary expense, a payroll expense. For all of the reading that you're going to do about the tax savings and why it's better for Blake Snell, who's a Washington resident, to get a signing bonus now before he moves, before he works in California, you're all wrong. That's not how it works. That signing bonus is going to be paid. He's going to have to pay tax on that. There is a way that he can save the state tax on the signing bonus by having residency in Washington, though there are a lot of loopholes that the IRS should close, unlikely that they will, given the new administration. New is the same old, same old, same old. But the loophole that would be closed is that generally you pay taxes where you earn the money. Blake Snell did not earn the $52 million by sitting in his home in a non-income tax state. Federal income tax, California state income tax. He's going to be subject to all of it, but it doesn't matter. He's getting $52 million gross W-2 income right now. The Dodgers do not care about the rest of baseball. And I want to say this in the nicest possible way because I have a good relationship with Andrew Friedman and Stan Kasten, and I just am jealous. But more importantly, I've always believed that the sum is going to be greater than the parts of any league, certainly Major League Baseball. It's why I'm in favor of more national revenue, why I'm in favor of more revenue sharing, more splitting of revenue. And it's not because I'm a small market, low payroll hawk. It's because I understand that when you look at leagues that share revenue, wait for it. Let me think of a league. Let me see if baseball owners, if I can help them, because I know you're watching. Is there a league where they share a bunch of the revenue, where the large markets really don't have a huge advantage over the small markets, where you share just about all of your revenue? What league is that, Coca? Oh, yeah, the NFL. And what do we know about the NFL? Those teams are worth billions more on average than Major League Baseball teams. Now, it is true that the Dodgers are worth more than the Royals by a lot. I could also argue that there are certain football teams like the Cowboys that are worth more, regardless of on-field performance, than others. But the lowest base in football is greater than the lowest base or even the mid-level base in baseball. And so this is not me saying, woe is me, I'm not the Dodgers. This is not me telling you, oh man, the Dodgers overpaid by a lot to get Blake Snell. This is me telling you again that their financial ability and the way they throw their money around will make it incredibly difficult for teams to keep up and to compete. And then you will have a situation where, forget hope, which we said is not going to be universal. It's going to live squarely in LA. And frankly, pre-Blake Snell, it already has been. Think about this. Andrew Friedman used to be known when he was younger. I'm not going to give away a lot of long-term, big-time free agent deals. I can build a winner without that. Do you know that since the start of last offseason, he's given out 5 contracts over $130 million? There's a total of 7 of them on the Dodgers. 7 guys are making more than $130 million. Yeah, Yamamoto, you remember last offseason, 12 years, $325. You may not have remembered the Tyler Glasnow extension. They gave him a 5-year, $136 million deal, and everyone said, brilliant. Where was Glasnow? It's now a 4-year deal because he was hurt last year. Don't forget Ohtani, 10 years, $700 million. Will Smith got $140 million to be their catcher over 10 years. And then you add to the list Blake Snell. In conclusion, my instant reaction, well, 9 hours old. Let me say it better, 4869. In conclusion, I'm very happy that Scott Boras and Blake Snell have been vindicated and that he can say to his client, I just gave you a 6-year, $214 million deal, which is more than the Yankees may or may not have offered last offseason. It's more than anyone thought you would get. So congratulations to you and to me. Now I can go focus on Corbin Burnes and Juan Soto, but I am on my way to one of the great redemption tours of all time. Meanwhile, the San Francisco Giants, they look at their team and they say to themselves, I had a 1-year go, it didn't work. And now I'm looking at a team where I improved my front office for sure, but I look at that division and say the anomaly was us winning 107 games and winning the division the only time we've won it in the last since their dynasty ended in 2014. Now, what am I going to do? What's the incentive for a team in that division, even the Padres, to step up and say that, wow, I'm going to compete for some of these big time free agents? It's lowering the possible destinations. Eventually, the Dodgers are going to run out of roster spots. They could keep signing pitchers because the rule is you got to have 10. I can't remember, Coca, the number of starting pitchers the Dodgers used last season, but you can bet your Bippy it was more than 10. So don't read about their rotation and what it's going to be and then compare it to the Giants rotation and the Padres rotation and say to yourself, that's it. Season's over. If that were the case, you wouldn't play the games.